Well, it's time to bring in this week's news panel. Joining me now is Adam Creighton, Washington Correspondent for the Australian and political commentator and contributing writer for the Media Research Center, Stephanie Hamill. Thank you both for joining us. Adam, I want to get your take, first of all, on these recent revelations about the SVB board. Seems like these guys didn't know a lot about banking, but did know a lot about DEI and giving money to Democrats.
Yes, James, I thought that your introduction was very good. I completely agree with all of it. You know, you really analysed it very well. It's just shocking, these failures. I mean, we also have to blame the regulators to some extent too. I mean, they have dozens of bureaucrats which are meant to be monitoring all these banks, and yet they seemingly have done nothing. It was left until the very last minute to cobble together these outrageous bailouts. And so you've got to wonder whether they were just working from home or kind of not working at all. But it does reflect very badly on the US regulatory financial system. I mean, we've been told for 12 years how great it all is now with extra capital, etc. And then we aren't even in a recession. The jobless rate's 3.5%, and you are already getting failures. And of course you have the US government too scared too afraid of the possibility of some sort of financial crisis, which I think is a fanciful notion, given how small these banks were. But now they've set this terrible precedent, and they've guaranteed all the liabilities in the financial system, basically all the deposits, which is, as hedge fund investor Ken Griffin said earlier this week, is the death of capitalism.
Well, and Stephanie, I mean, this whole idea now that basically there is essentially no consequence for banks for mismanaging their funds. They will always have the taxpayer or the Biden administration magic up some money out of somewhere. This is actually a real assault, not just on the banking system over the long term, but also, I think, the trust of the American people and the American taxpayer. What do you think?
Yeah, the optics aren't good. And as you pointed out, a lot of these board members were mega donors for the Democrats, pouring in millions of dollars into those campaigns. And we're also learning that only one of the board members actually had experience in investing in banking. So why were these people on the board in the first place? And you talked a lot about their efforts and focus on diversity and so on, so much so that they had the bank actually spent $74 million on Black Lives Matter. They donated that much money. So, it really makes you think what's going on here. And as I said, the optics aren't great because it looks like the government is quick to bail out their friends and react quickly. You have to wonder if these were Trump supporters or just regular people or regular banks that weren't tied with Silicon Valley, if they would receive the help that they are receiving today.